Welcome back. I hope you're doing amazing. I'm going to be showing you how you can make a tallow moisturizer with colloidal oats that's soothing on your skin. It's lightweight, does an amazing job of moisturizing your skin without feeling heavy. So it is a very hydrating, moisturizing lotion, so to say, and infused with colloidal oats that has amazing soothing benefits for your skin. So I'm going to show you my process for making this tallow moisturizer step by step. Let's go and get started. And if this is your first time stopping by, my name is Esther. I make DIY hair and skincare videos here on YouTube. I'm also a business owner. I sell my soaps, my body care products online, and I also have ebooks and formulating classes. Everything I mentioned is always linked in the description box. So let's go on and get started. I'm starting out with the oil phase, and my first ingredient is BTMS 50. This is the emulsifying wax. You need this to combine water and oil together to prevent separation. This wax is a conditioning wax. It's a self-emulsifying wax, so you can use it on its own. You don't need to add a co-emulsifier. But for my second ingredient, I'm using grass-fed beef tallow. So beef tallow is obtained from animal fat, and it has a lot of fatty acids that help to protect and nourish your skin. But you can replace this with any plant butter like shea butter, cocoa butter. And I'm going to be using some shea nut oil. This is also packed with fatty acids, vitamins, antioxidants. Does a really good job at moisturizing very dry skin. I'm adding in some cetyl alcohol. This is a co-emulsifier. It's going to help stabilize the cream. If you don't have this, you can omit this from the recipe because BTMS 50 is sufficient on its own. And to this, I'm going to add in some colloidal oats. This is a very soothing, moisturizing ingredient. It's going to help protect the skin. If you're dealing with dry, itchy, irritated skin, colloidal oats is amazing. And lastly, I'm going to add in some Natrasil. So this is a natural alternative to silicones. It's just going to help improve how quickly this cream absorbs into the skin. And this is everything that needs to go into the oil phase. So I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to work on my water phase. For my water phase, I'm going to be using distilled water. You want to always use the cleanest water source when you're formulating your skincare, your hair care products. So my next ingredient is my vegetable glycerin. Vegetable glycerin is a wonderful humectant. It helps to attract moisture to your skin. So I've added everything for my water phase. So this is what I'm going to do next. So what I do is I'm going to remove my jar from my scale, and then I'm going to zero out my scale. And then I'm going to place back my jar on my scale to take the note of the weight. So the total weight is what I'm checking here. So you want to write that down, the total weight of your jar that includes the water, glycerin. Because when you heat this jar, you are going to lose some water content due to evaporation. So I'm just filling an extra jar that I'm going to heat up along with the oil phase jar to do the water replacement. So that's why I have 3 jars. So I'm going to place this in a pot that I've filled with a few inches of water on medium heat, and I'm going to heat everything until I get to a temperature ranging from 150 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Everybody has different temperatures that they use, but I find that sticking within that temperature range has never failed me. So I'm just stirring my oil phase mixture just to ensure the colloidal oats is mixed properly. And when I checked the temperature for my oil phase, it was at 164 degrees Fahrenheit. And the temperature for my water phase was at 154 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm usually okay with both jars, As long as they're within 10 degrees Fahrenheit of each other, I'm usually okay with that. You want to avoid having a huge difference in temperature. So I find that 10 degrees, within 10 degrees is usually sufficient. I'm going to go ahead and do the water replacement. So I placed my jar back on the scale, took note of the weight, and then I'm going to use the water that I've heated up to do the water replacement. So that's why you need that number that you wrote down earlier. So once I've finished with the water replacement, it's time to combine both of the phases together. So you want to add the water phase to the oil phase. And you are going to need an immersion blender, a stick blender. That is usually the best tool or equipment to use when making lotions and creams. So I like to tap my blender just to loosen up any air bubbles, and then I tip it to the side so that way the blade is not scratching the bottom of my jar. And then I'm just going to start blending at intervals. This takes me on average at least 5 minutes of blending, but I blend at intervals, stirring my mixture, and then I'll continue blending. This is the most important part of making your cream, your lotion. You want to take your time to do this because it might look like it's blended, everything has combined properly, and then you might notice separation later. So this took me about 5 minutes of just blending, pulsing. I'll blend for a minute or so, stop, blend again until I have completely mixed up my mixture. After blending, this is what my mixture is looking like. It is very runny, and that is perfectly okay. It is going to be runny liquid for some time. The mixture is still quite hot. I went ahead and I checked the temperature, and the temperature was at 132 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to allow my mixture cool down for some time, so that way I can add my heat sensitive ingredients like my preservative extracts. You want to wait until your mixture has cooled down to about 100 degrees Fahrenheit and below before you add those ingredients. So I allowed my mixture cool down for some time. I don't remember how long, but when I checked it, the temperature was at 88 degrees Fahrenheit. It had cooled down significantly, and this is what the texture, the consistency is looking like. You want to make sure you don't see chunks of lotion or cream or any bits of mixture that doesn't look like it has been combined properly. So everything should be smooth. You don't want to see any grainy chunks of wax or anything like that. So this is what the cream is looking like. So it's smooth consistency, it's fairly thick. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in the cool down ingredients, and I'm starting out with some vitamin E T50. This helps to extend the shelf life of this cream. It helps keep the oils in this recipe formula from going rancid. And I'm using a preservative, Euxil PE9010. This is a broad spectrum preservative that's effective against bacteria, yeast, and mold. So it is a must when you're making this cream. I'm adding in some propindale. This is an additional humectant. It is completely optional. This just provides additional hydration for your skin. You can omit this or you can replace it with another humectant of your choice. I'm adding in some kale extract. Once again, this is optional. Kale is packed with tons of antioxidants that nourish and boost the health of your skin. I'm using my whisk attachment to mix everything together for about a minute or so. You'd want to be careful if you're using this type of attachment, so that way you don't introduce a lot of air into your cream. So if I was to use my other attachment, this is what I recommend you use, the beta attachment of your hand mixer. That's going to introduce less air. So I'm just doing this for about a minute, and this is in real time. I try to do this in real time just to show that I did not mix this for too long. if you mix this for too long, it's going to introduce a lot of air, like I said, and eventually your cream will have a spongy texture that feels more foamy. So you want to avoid mixing too long. And this is what the Oats Tallow Cream is looking like. This is what the texture, the consistency is looking like at this time. So I'm very happy with how it looks. I'm going to go ahead and check the pH. You always want to check the pH of any water-based product you make. So I'm going to weigh out about 2 grams of my cream, and I'm going to add in about 18 grams of distilled water. I'm going to give this a mix, and I'm going to use my digital pH meter to take the reading. And the pH read at 5.06. So this is perfectly okay. What I've noticed, a lot of emulsifying waxes typically will fall anywhere between 5 to 7 as a recommended pH level. So I am happy with my Oats Tallow Cream, and feel free to make changes, substitutions that work best for you. I'm going to go ahead and package this up. I'm using 4-ounce glass jars. With this Oats Tallow Cream, it is very, very moisturizing. And if you have dry skin or itchy, irritated skin, the colloidal oats does an amazing job at soothing your skin. But you can definitely swap out the tallow for something like shea butter, mango butter, cocoa butter. So make it work for your own skin type or what you want to formulate for. So this is what the texture is. I'm going to show you what it looks like a couple of days later. This was 3 days later. I had put my label on my jars, and I'm going to do a quick demo on my skin just to show you how it applies. And it is very moisturizing, like I said, and you are certainly welcome to even switch out the oils. That's the beauty of making your own products. You can make it fun, make it enjoyable, and just make it to suit your own skin. So once I applied it into my skin, you will notice there is a very slight soaping effect. So just a very slight soaping effect where you have a bit of that white cast, but it literally absorbs very quickly into your skin. And to combat this, you can adjust your formula by increasing your silicones. I used a natural one, but you can try using silicones and that will also improve it. But I love it. I didn't find any problem using it the way it was. But I'm also going to show you my 30-day test because I've gotten questions about emulsions failing or maybe growing mold after some time. So this was 30 days later. I'm going to show you what this cream is looking like. And after 30 days, my Oats Tallow Cream was pretty much the same. There was no mold, there was nothing growing out of it. It was pretty much the same texture, consistency, and I'm very happy with this cream. It's very moisturizing, very soothing. So I hope you give this formula recipe a try, and you can always make it your own. And once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support. Please, if you've not yet subscribed, please go on and hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to like this video, turn on your notifications so you don't miss any new videos I upload. And if you would like to support me on Patreon, I have my Patreon linked in the description box. I offer 2 additional bonus videos that I don't share anywhere else on my Patreon. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.